Hey guys, my name is Micah and I'm a composer and music producer, and today I'm going to be teaching you what the scale MIDI effect does and how it works in Ableton Live. You're going to have to excuse my little birdie if you can hear her in the background. She's stuck with me for this recording. Okay, so in your browser on the left, go to MIDI effects and you can go to scale and just pull that down, and this will give you the scale effect over here. I've got a MIDI track over here with a clip and some kind of piano. It's just a chromatic scale and this is what it sounds like. Okay, now this scale function takes incoming MIDI notes from your clip or ones that you play straight from your keyboard and forces them to fit into a specific scale of your choosing. So this one is set to C major, so any notes that play through it, it'll force into the C major scale. So here you see this grid, and along the X and the Y axis you have a piano keyboard, kind of like this. So this XY scale map is 12 squares in length and width, and they correspond to the 12 notes of your scale. So your transparent / light grey notes over here, your white notes on your keyboard, and these darker ones represent the black notes on your keyboard. So the X-axis over here shows your incoming note, the actual notes that are on your MIDI clip or the ones that you're playing, and on the Y-axis it'll show you which notes are being played. So let's have a look. So how that works is this here would be a C, this here's a C sharp, this is a D, and so forth. But on the Y-axis you can see here it's a C, it's a D, it's an E. That way you can see which notes are coming in and what notes they're being mapped to. I just want to mention, if a specific note, say for instance this C sharp, is mapped to a C, then all your C sharps are going to be mapped to Cs. It's not like one C sharp is going to be mapped to a different note. And you can change how these mappings work by actually clicking on the boxes. So here I'm clicking on this box and I'm saying when a note comes that is C sharp over here, I want to play this note over here, so that'll be like C, D, E. And that way you can change your own configurations and have full control over how this MIDI effect works. Now let me tell you about these controls on the side here. So your bass control here defines what note is the bottom here. So it says C, and this bottom left note is now your C. If I move it up to a D, the whole grid shifts so that this is now a D. Okay, now you've got your transpose function, which is pretty self-explanatory. It transposes by semitones, so at the moment it says 0 semitones, so I'm not transposing it, but I'll change it as we play. Say you've got a B section and you want everything to be up a fifth, you can actually just transpose it with a scale function. Now this fold over here, fold makes it more convenient to create scales by automatically folding back notes. So what that means is that if a scale normally maps, say, an incoming C3 to an A3, so if it would usually map this note over here to, say, this note over here, this distance is greater than if it were just to go down to the closest A. So fold basically just means choose the shortest distance and fold it to that specific note. So it would then play the lowest note instead of the higher note. So the range and lowest controls work together over here to define the note range within which the scale mapping will take effect. So here my lowest note is set to C2. If I only want to hear higher notes, so my note starts on C3, so I only want to hear, say, from F sharp, and say I only want to hear like 5 semitones, then it's going to filter them. You can see that only between this range, with this being the lowest note, does it actually apply this MIDI effect. All other notes kind of get passed through and you hear what's in this MIDI clip, and when that happens, this little LED over here brings out an orange light. So either this will be orange, and you know that your MIDI notes are being passed through as they are in your MIDI clip or as you're playing them, or these orange squares over here will go yellow and this won't be shining an orange light, and then you can see how the notes are being altered and where they're being mapped to. So there's some cool applications of using this scale effect. You can set it to a specific key, and if you know that your piece is in that key and while you're playing piano you're playing the wrong note, it's going to map it to a note in the key. It might not be the right note, but at least it's not going to sound clashy. You can also mix it up with a random function, which I'll be talking about in the next video, where Ableton might change some of your notes in your clip to random notes, but then it can filter it back through the scale function to make sure it's in the right key. You can also use this with chords, and it'll fix notes in the chord and then make sure that your chords are all in the same key. So experiment a little bit, have fun, and play around. For a longer and more embarrassing version of how this scale function works, you can check out this video. Alright, thanks for watching guys. I will see you soon in the next one.